The Berenstain Bears Love Their Neighbors, written by Jan and Mike Berenstain. Love your neighbor as yourself. And who is my neighbor? Luke 10:27 through 29. The Bear family was quite proud of their handsome tree house, and they worked hard to keep it neat and tidy. The trim was freshly painted, the front steps were scrubbed, and the windows were washed. The lawn was mowed and the flower beds were weeded. Even the leaves of the tree were carefully trimmed and clipped. Most of their neighbors took good care of their homes as well. The pandas across the street were even bigger neatniks than the bears. It seemed they were always hard at work sweeping and cleaning. Farmer Ben's farm just down the road was always in apple pie order too. Even his chicken coop was as neat as a pin. A place for everything and everything in its place. That's my motto, said Farmer Ben. The Bear family had a few neighbors whose houses were positively fancy, like Mayor Honeypot, the bear who rode around Big Town in his long lavender limousine. His house was 3 stories tall and built of brick. It had a big brass knocker on the front door and statues of flamingos on the front lawn. Even more impressive was a mansion of Squire Grizzly, the richest bear in all bear country. It stood on a hill surrounded by acres of lawns and gardens. Dozens of servants and gardeners took care of the place. The Bear family was proud of their neighborhood, and they got along with all their neighbors. Except for the Bogg Brothers. The Bogg Brothers lived in a run-down old shack, not far from the Bear family's treehouse. But what a difference! Their roof was caving in, and the whole place leaned to one side. There was junk all over the yard. Chickens, dogs, and cats ran everywhere. A big pig wallowed in the mud out back. "Those Bogg Brothers," Mama would say whenever she saw them, "they're a disgrace to the neighborhood." "Yes," Papa agreed, "they certainly are a problem." One bright spring morning, the Bear family was working outside, cleaning and fixing up, when the Bogg Brothers came along. They were driving their broken-down old jalopy. It made a terrific clinking racket. As they drove past the treehouse, one of the Bogg Brothers spit out of the car. It narrowly missed the Bear's mailbox. "Really," said Mama, shocked, "those Bogg Brothers are a disgrace." "I agree," said Papa, getting the mail out from the mailbox. "I'm afraid they're not very good neighbors." Papa looked through the mail and found a big yellow flyer rolled up. He opened it and showed it to the rest of his family. "Come one, come all, to the big Bear Town Festival. Help celebrate our wonderful neighborhood. Games, rides, contests, prizes, fireworks. Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Horace J. Honeypot, Mayor." "Oh boy," said sister and brother, "it's like a big block party. Can we go?" "It certainly sounds like fun," said Mama. "What do you think, Papa?" "Everyone in town will be there," said Papa. "We ought to go too." "Yay!" cried the cubs. So on Saturday morning, they all piled into the car. They had a picnic basket and folding chairs. They were looking forward to a day of fun and excitement. But as they drove along, the car began to make a funny sound. It started out as a pocket, pocket-a, but soon it developed into a pocket-a-wheeze, pocket-a-wheeze. "Oh dear," said Mama, "what is that awful sound the car is making?" Just then the car made a much worse sound, a loud clunk. It came to a sudden halt, and the radiator cap blew off. They all climbed out, and Papa opened the hood. "I guess it's overheated," said Papa, waving at the cloud of steam with his hat. "Oh no," said Sister. "How are we going to get to the Bear Town Festival?" "Maybe someone will stop and give us a hand," said Papa hopefully. "Look, here comes a car. Let's all wave. Maybe they will stop." It was Mayor and Miss Honeypot in their long lavender limousine. They were on their way to the festival too. Their car slowed down, but it didn't stop. The mayor leaned his head out of the window. "Sorry we can't stop," he said. "We're late already. I'm master of ceremonies today. I've got to be there on time. I'm sure someone will stop to help you." And he pulled away with a squeal of tires. Said Papa. "Maybe someone else will come along." Soon another car did come along. It was Squire and Lady Grizzly, being driven to the festival in their big black Grizz Royce. Then they slowed down too. Lady Grizzly rolled down her window. "I'm afraid we can't stop," she said. "We don't have time. I'm the judge of the flower arranging contest. We simply must hurry." And with that, they pulled away. "Maybe no one is going to stop," said Sister. "Maybe we're never going to get to the festival." "One of our neighbors is sure to stop and help us," said Mama. "After all, that's what neighbors are for." "Yeah," said Brother, "but do they know that?" A cloud of dust appeared down the road. "Here comes someone now," Sister said eagerly. The dust cloud drew closer, and they could hear clackety-racket getting louder. "Uh-oh," said Papa, shading his eyes and peering down the road. "If that's who I think it is." It was. It was the Bogg Brothers. They came clanking up in their rickety old jalopy and screeched to a halt. First one, then another of the Bogg Brothers came climbing out. "Howdy," said the first Bogg Brother. "Hello there," said Papa. "I'm Lem," said the first Bogg Brother. "I can see you're having some trouble with your vehicle." "Well, yes, we are," said Papa. "Maybe we can give you a hand," said Lem. "That would be very neighborly of you," said Papa. "Hey, Clem! Hey, Shem!" called Lem. "Get out the rope!" The other two Bogg Brothers rooted around in the back of the jalopy and came up with a length of rope. They hitched it to the back bumper of their car and tied the other end around the front bumper of the Bears' car. "All aboard!" said Lem. The Bear family climbed hastily back in their car. The Bogg Brothers pulled away, towing the Bears' car behind them. "Where are they taking us?" asked Mama. Papa shrugged. "At least we're moving." Brother and Sister hoped the Bogg Brothers weren't taking them down to their old shack. They didn't want to meet that big pig. They soon pulled into a run-down old filling station. Someone who looked like an older version of the Bogg Brothers came out. "Hello, Uncle Zeke," said Lem. "Hello, nephew," said Uncle Zeke. "What can I do you for?" "These poor folks broke down on the road," said Lem. "You reckon you can fix 'em up?" "Let's take a look," said Uncle Zeke. He looked under the car's hood, banged and clanged around, and came up with a length of burst hose. "Radiator hose," he said. "Busted clean open. I should have another one around here somewheres." Uncle Zeke rummaged around behind the filling station and soon came back with a radiator hose. He banged and clanged under the hood for a few more minutes. "There," he said, wiping his hands. "Good as new. We'll top off the radiator and you folks can be on your way." "Thank you very much," said Papa, relieved. He shook hands with Uncle Zeke and the Bogg Brothers. "Thank you," said Mama, Brother, and Sister. Honey Bear waved. "How much do we owe you?" asked Papa, reaching for his wallet. "Nothing," said Lem. "This one is on us. After all, we're neighbors." "That's right," said Mama with a gulp. "We are. In fact, how would you neighbors like to come over to our house for dinner next week?" Papa, Brother, and Sister all stared at Mama with their mouths open. "That's right neighborly of you," said Lem. "Don't mind if we do. Shem's cooking has been getting a bit tiresome. Too much possum stew." "We were on our way to the Beartown Festival," said Papa. "Would you like to join us?" "Sure would," said Lem. "We ain't been to a big shindig since Grandpap's 90th birthday party." So the Bear family drove to Beartown with the Bogg Brothers and Uncle Zeke. They were a little late, but they hadn't missed much. Just Mayor Honeypot's welcoming speech. They all joined in the games, rides, and contests. When it was time for the fireworks, the Bogg Brothers livened things up with some music of their own. The next week, the Bogg Brothers came over to the Bears' treehouse for dinner. They wore their best clothes and got all spruced up for the occasion. They even brought a housewarming gift, a big pot of Shem's special possum stew. It was delicious. There's some activities and questions from Brother and Sister Bear. So let's talk about it. How does the Bear family feel about the Bogg Brothers? Do you think they are easy to like? How did the Bear family show their love for their neighbors? How have you shown love for your neighbors? Get out and do it. Design a fun car with no top. With your family, help a neighbor with a job like yard work. Write 3 things you can do to help at home. And that's the end.